Welcome to Project Pack number 6. My name is Rick.
I'm Maria, and wow, 6.
We're
This is
already up
so
to 6. This is fun.
exciting. We're having so much fun with the project packs and what they are revealing to us, never mind to you guys.
So, we're really excited about this one. We're excited about all of them, but this is a particularly important principle, I guess, of the Zentangle method, which is no mistakes. And this project started out with what anybody would call a really big mistake. Um, Maria was, well, you go ahead. Where were
Okay,
you?
well, I was at a calligraphy conference early on. It was like in the first or second year that we were going, or
Uh,
maybe third year
I
or so.
don't remember.
Anyway, I had gone off with a friend for a 3-day course in lettering, and I had brought all my stuff, my Zentangle stuff, with me, of course, because I want to share it with everybody. And I had my little red book, which was my journal, was everything to me, everything that from the beginning of Zenting, all the ideas,
It
everything.
wasn't quite as worn.
Yeah, it wasn't. You can see the love here, because this book got a lot of love. And anyway, I packed up all my stuff ready to go at the end of the seminar, and somebody asked me if I would write something for them. So I took all my stuff out again, my calligraphy pen and my India ink, a bottle of India ink, and I did the piece for her because usually that's what I do. And I was in a hurry because we wanted to, miss the traffic on the way home and everything. So I threw all the stuff back in my bag, and evidently,
The ink wasn't quite shut.
yeah, I didn't screw it on quite tight enough, and I'm thinking that it's never tight enough to not put it in a bag, a Ziploc bag, which is now what I do with everything. But it was a good lesson learned. But anyway, we didn't find out about this until I got home, and I drove in the driveway, and I'm unpacking my bags.
So, so Maria comes into the kitchen, and I'm helping her with her stuff, and we're unpacking and open up the container with the ink and the book, and the ink that was in the container is now all over the book. So you can see before
And these are the end pages.
and
Yeah.
after. So all of the sides of the book and that whole corner is just sopping wet. You tilt it up and squeeze it, and it's dripping ink all over the
So
floor.
without skipping a beat, Rick runs for the paper towels, and he starts putting a paper towel between every single page in the book, which is, I think there's about 100 pages probably in the book. And so he says, okay, let's think about this. Let's not panic.
So we let it dry. We change the paper towels, and eventually the book is dry, and we're just going to trust that something is going to come out of this. And what came out of it is really one of the coolest inspirations, because
So I decided that I would make this work. So I grabbed my calligraphy pen, my pointed pen. At the time, we weren't working with Jelly Rolls yet, so I just used some white ink and a dip pen, and I started just tangling on the black. And not only was it a lot of fun, but it was so beautiful that it became like the best part of the book. And every single page was worth seeing, and how it transferred from black to white, white to black, and the dance that it took between the two.
and where it went over the lettering, you can see, like, okay, so we'll just, or we, it was like
We sort of did it,
we
yeah.
made supper, right? She just went in and continued it. So there's this wonderful continuity, and
You don't even realize that's what's happening,
Right?
when you're reading it. Yeah.
and so to mix not only the names but the tangles also went into the border. So it's like, oh wow, how did you think of doing that? Is what everybody says when they see it, but the whole idea was that
I guess I started painting some white over in here to make it look a little different. And
So this became a most wonderful aspect of the whole book, and it is not only a record of a lot of the early tangles and our explorations of, what are we going to call it.
we
This is
didn't even have a name for this yet.
So this is when we're working out Muka and how it's going to be tangled and how we
How it's going to be
construct
taught. Yeah.
how it's going to be taught, and just absolutely wonderful ideas. And you can see this right?
So in here, I was so moved by the black and working on the black that I started incorporating it into the patterns inside here. And you can see there and here, and how much cooler it is to have these alternating stripes of black and white, and then white on black, black on white.
And this was before we had black tiles.
Right, right,
So this might be one of the reasons that we now have black tiles.
right.
So the point of this,
Journey here, yeah.
this project pack is this whole concept of there are no mistakes. And we'll often say that, and it sounds like, well, what do you mean there's no mistakes? I mean, obviously
It was it was not something
it
I
wasn't
planned.
intentional.
So mistake can have different, I think, ideas on what a mistake is. And what we decided was in Zentangle, a mistake is an opportunity, a really great gift that we're given to force us to get creative.
And I think part of the idea of that is to trust that you can be worthy of whatever mistake is presented. And I know that we've changed our approach to things when they happen. And instead of like trying to figure out the whole thing, we'll focus on basically the Zentangle theme, which is anything is possible one stroke at a time. But the idea is, okay, so what is the next stroke?
So what happened to us, that's the coolest thing. And I just didn't even, it's almost hard for me to say it, but the whole idea of this no mistake thing crept into our lives. And even, everything now, when something happens that we hadn't planned on, we say, well, okay, well, how can we make this better? And what's this going to force us to do that we hadn't anticipated? Or why of this? Or, I got a cigarette burn on the couch, on my couch that I loved, and it was right on the cushion. And I decided, okay, I'm going to work with this. And I bought the most beautiful a little square of tapestry, and cut it small and sewed it on top of that hole. And it looked so beautiful there. Everybody says, "Oh, isn't that nice? Is that the way the couch came?" And I thought, well, there you go.
Right. Or we have this white chair on the porch that got stained, and so now we tangled it, and everybody that comes in has to sign
Autograph chair.
Autograph the chair. So the idea, it requires a little bit of patience, and we encourage you to be patient with yourself. One of the things that when you think about a mistake, so try this idea on. When you're worried about something that you did, then you can become depressed about, what happened. Or if you're worrying about something that might happen, you become anxious about that. But if instead of being in the past, worry or the future worry, if you use this mistake to put yourself in the moment that you can do something about it, which is in the present, not to sound terribly hokey, but that's the only place that you can affect it. And it is a call to your creativity. And this, to us, is the message or the inspiration of this whole Zentangle adventure, is a way to inspire you to bring out your creativity in the moment. And often it is a so-called mistake that really helps you dig deeper for, okay, well, right now, what can I do? What can I creatively apply to this situation? And that, it's an opportunity. It really is an opportunity because it is a gift to access creativity that you never even knew you had or had a reason to dig it out.
So my suggestion to all of you is, if you ever have what you think is a mistake on your tile, and once in a while it happens, and a lot of times on grid tangles where there has to be this and that, or a lot other times very distinct patterns. My advice to you is to take that tile and put it somewhere that you won't forget about it, but that you're not looking at it for a while, so that, don't look at it for a couple of weeks at least. And then go grab it afterwards, revisit it, and more than likely, you're not even going to be able to find where the mistake was at first. So that should tell you right away that you are worrying for nothing. And also
Or you'll
think
see
about what kind of things you can do to bring it to life again the way you want it to be. So we're going to show you some ideas on how to do this, but we also have other ideas in Zentangle Volume 1 that you might want to visit too.
So there's a lot of information there. And what we're going to do in the upcoming videos is in the project pack, there is this lovely commemorative mini journal. It's absolutely beautiful, this lovely embossed,
Made for just for you.
made just for this and for you. And
And
it is,
Molly actually made big ink splots, and so that you didn't have the same ink spot on every page, she made a whole bunch of them.
so there's different books. So you may or may not have the books that we're working with, but we're going to work with a whole different bunches of them. And that's what this upcoming series of project packs is the theme of no mistakes and how to work with unexpected situations and to apply the Zentangle approach of one stroke at a time. So we hope you will enjoy this wonderful adventure with us. And
You can see how big the little book is. It's so
Yeah,
cute.
it is
It's
really
like,
sweet.
Is it like 3.5, 4 inches maybe by
I don't know.
4 by 5? I don't know. Around
But
there.
it's really cool. And so stick around and we're going to have fun. And
Okay, let's tangle.
let's tangle.
Bye.
Bye now.